Hey guys, we're back for episode 2. We actually got a pretty good response, way better than what we thought we were going to get for episode 1. We were almost at 200 views on YouTube. We really want to kind of keep this ball rolling. We're having a good time doing it. And we actually this week are introducing a guy that most of you know. Jeff Pratt has decided to join our fray this week. Jeff, give the folks a little bit of background. Who's the favorite teams? Who's the favorite players? That picture in the background is telling a story. So maybe you want to go from there.
Well, first, thanks for having me on, guys. Watched your last episode. I think I viewed it 198 times, actually. So,
Appreciate it.
No, happy to be here. Yeah, I'm a Caps fan, Blue Jays fan. Don't really have an NFL team, but we'll call it the Rams.
Oh.
Last couple of
Yeah,
years.
that's got bandwagon written all over it.
Jeez, oh my.
Good.
And then I cheer for the Raptors, other than, of course, I was a big Bulls fan back in the day. But
Perfect.
let's go.
Right on. So this week we decided to kind of have a little fun to start the show. We're going to do rapid fire questions. We want to give people a chance to kind of get to know us, what we're into, what we do.
Lane, cheap seats.
Well, are we unveiling that yet, Wilson? Is
Yeah.
that what-
Yeah,
Oh,
give it.
well,
We know that's what we're going with.
Going forward, it will actually, the show's name will be Cheap Seats. That's how you'll be able to find us on YouTube, hoping some, or barring any copyright infringement from Alabama, obviously. So we're kind of hoping that takes off. I already searched Cheap Seats on YouTube, and the only thing that comes up is Alabama. So we're really doing them a favor by getting them some more hits too, right? So that being said, we're gonna move into the intro.
Coming in next time. You're gonna do her up, right?
I'm gonna have her set up. Yeah, we're gonna give her a little bit. Just as long as
I'll be dancing.
as long as we don't get carved too much for it. Yeah. Okay, so the intro rapid fire stuff. We're gonna start off. Each guy's got questions prepared for the other guy in the group. I'm gonna start off. My questions are for Mr. Wilson there in the top corner. So short, sweet. Try and keep it as to the point as possible. First question for you, Dustin. Why do you cheer for the Packers? What made you a Packers fan?
These are not short, quick answers, Lane.
Well, I figured as a
These are not rapid fire questions. Anyway, the quickest answer: Favre in those early years, playing against the Cowboys, he was the man. Hooked me right away.
golf or basketball. Why?
Basketball tends to be a little bit more competitive for me.
Gross.
Favorite athlete all time.
Favre. Come on.
Most hated athlete all time.
Oh, that's a good question. Jeez, that's a good question.
That one. Oh man. I'm trying to think Moss?
What?
Whoa,
Wow.
dirty. Was it the moon? Was it the full moon in the Packer
Moon
game?
didn't bother me as much.
Oh, I don't know. That's a slight at the Packers, man. Okay. And last question: is it hard to be that cut and good looking, or does it just come natural to you?
Me and you are on two totally different pages with our questions.
Uh,
What was your question?
is it that hard to be, or is it hard to be that cut and good looking, or does it just come natural?
I'm not cut anymore due to COVID. You should
Well,
see.
I'm not cut either, and it had nothing to do with COVID. So, well, Wilson, you're up.
Hey, Pratsky, I'm asking you. I got 10.
Holy
What?
shit.
Oh.
So now we're changing the itinerary. Okay, right on. Let's go.
Oh, I'm
Let's
not
do it.
asking them all these. Your questions. These are rapid fire questions, so let's do it right away. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Golf handicap.
8.
Oh no, it is not.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck.
Check the website, bud.
Okay.
Have you updated it in 3 years?
The index is 7.2, so you tell me that spits out as a
Holy.
Okay, we'll let it slide next.
average of 8. Oh, come on. That's That might be high. Anyway, go.
Okay, this is a weird one. You're buying tickets for a group of buddies at a ball game. Are you buying them in the infield or outfield?
Infield.
Oh, not if Wilson's there, you're not.
Third base side. I love it. Yep.
I don't have the cash for that, Pratsky.
$85 in kickoff.
Okay, will the NHL finish their season? Yes or no?
I predict actually no.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Kraus, mastermind or lucky?
Oh,
Mastermind, that's
Fucking hate
a
that
big word. I think just below mastermind.
So
Very, very intelligent. Very good GM.
it's one lucky or mastermind. Mastermind?
Okay, mastermind, and he's a creature also.
Oh.
hideous.
What's your baseball position?
When I play, shortstop.
Oh.
Didn't think you had that good of a gun.
Most hated sports team.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh Penguins, yeah.
Favorite sports movie.
Oh,
That's a good one.
I'm going to say Major League 2.
Oh,
What?
Good movie.
That's
Good movie.
holy.
that
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
the
I mean,
pride.
it's up there, but really?
Yeah.
Holy.
Good movie.
I was not thinking comedy.
No, I would have went a completely different direction.
Nicholas or Palmer?
Ooh. Arnie.
Yeah, not a boy.
Joe Burrows, boom or bust?
Who?
Burrows.
Joe Burrow.
Number one.
There's no S at the end of his name. Joe Burrow. Cincinnati Bengals draft pick.
Oh,
Oh, Burrow, yeah.
boom. Boom.
Okay. This is a lane question. It's got
Oh,
some
brother.
GOAT Mount Rushmore for just athletes. Your GOAT.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good
Just-
question.
In my opinion, like who I.
Sports.
Okay, good one. Gretzky.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth.
Oh.
Hey.
Holy shit. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I guess I'm taking one from each sport, so.
You don't have to.
Well, yeah. You know what? I'd throw Bobby Orr on there before I would any NFLer.
What about Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
What about Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I take Tiger over Bobby Orr. Sorry.
That's better.
So,
That's better.
Jordan, Gretzky, Ruth, Woods.
Yeah.
I like
Not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
that's 10.
All right, moving on, Boomer.
Do I ask Boomer?
You asked Boomer.
Okay. I think I just got 5 or 6 here, Boom. All right, Boom. Bottom of the 9th, 2 out, tie game, Game 7, World Series. We'll say bases loaded. Who's your hitter?
What's the score?
Tie game,
Okay.
bases loaded.
Who's on first?
Like, are we talking of all time, or are we talking as
Anyone.
they play right now?
One player at his peak. Who's up to bat that you want to win the game?
Tony Gwynn.
It's a good pick.
Oh,
I would have went kind of the same direction, but a little bit different. But yeah, good pick.
from all of his postseason experience, I guess.
No, because he was the only one that could actually hit Greg Maddux. That's why.
Okay, next question. Who's your pitcher then?
Oh. Boomer, don't even pretend like you're feigning who the hard choice is. We know the answers.
There's
spit it
only
out.
two I would even take.
And
But
we know
I'll
who
say
they are.
Rivera. I'll say Rivera.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Who would the other one be? Like,
We know.
yeah.
If you said anybody than Maddox, you're lying. So.
Well, Rivera's pick.
Oh well, yeah, I know.
Braves, Flames, Steelers. Only one can win the championship in 2021. Who do you want?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
Steelers.
sure.
Okay.
Interesting.
Name one athlete, past or present, you'd like to see a movie made about, and who plays that role?
Oh.
You have 5 minutes. No, just kidding.
Jeez. Probably Josh Hamilton. And I'm gonna say, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know who I would grab because, that's tough. I don't know if I can pick an actor. That's hard for me because I don't know. Like I don't know a big hulking guy that could look like a drug addict in the prime of his career.
Josh Hamilton, yeah.
Have you read his book? It's unbelievable.
Oh, it'd be a great story. It'd be a great movie. Just I don't know.
His book is crazy.
It's actually a good pick for the athlete.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Pretty cool. I'm just trying to think of an actor now. I was thinking that Joshua that dates Rachel off Friends. Remember that episode?
Yes, I do remember that episode. We just saw it. Yeah, he could do
Get
it.
him all write it up.
Yep. Deal. I agree. Sure, we'll go with him.
That guy.
That's your homework, boys. You other two, you got to watch that episode.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, Boomer, I guess you're up.
No, I got 2 more here.
Whoa.
Biggest personal sports achievement.
That was going to be a question of mine.
You know, God. I only have 2 that really even that I would even say would be worth it, and I'll say high school golf provincials as a team, gold and I'll say.
That's good. Okay, last one. Very easy, very quick. Shouldn't take you long. Me and Wallace one-on-one golf match. Who wins?
Is this Jeff Pratt in Clear Lake, or is this Jeff Pratt like fresh out of the gate in the spring? Like, I don't know what to say.
Clear Lake.
Then Jeff, because there was only one guy on the other team that I was worried about that might actually be able to keep up with me until 15, and it was you because of the way you were playing. Okay.
Good answer. Okay, that's all I got.
Gonna go have to hang myself in the back here. Okay.
Oh no, you're you're good. My questions aren't that bad. This first one.
No, I'm not worried about your questions. I'm worried about the fact that you just put Pratt as a better golfer than me because I'm pretty sure I want to go kill myself anyway.
Oh, do you? Oh, so then I'm gonna have to scratch off my last question. Any position, any team, any professional sport, what would you choose and why? Briefly.
Pitcher, honestly. You're out there and it's just you against the hitters. I mean, you have a defense out there, but the mental game and the actual attack and approach you have to every hitter. You're constantly having to adjust how you analyze things and how you pitch. I can't see it being any more of a competition than that.
So would you want to play for Seattle or actually have a team behind you?
No, because I'd probably get lit every game. I'd probably, slap me on the old Astros.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
little help from the fans.
Yeah, you're right. At least nobody will be banging cans in behind you getting the sign.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Favorite golf hole on any course anywhere. You don't have to have
Favorite
played
golf
it.
hole. Honestly, I always had a big love for at White Bear Hole 11. And Pratt, you know. That
Par
night
3 downhill.
Oh,
He went local. I
Yeah.
didn't think you'd go local, but okay.
well, I mean, I'm taking one that's got some meaning. There was a night at district qualifying. We all as a team went out there and we must have hammered about 100 and some golf balls off that tee box. That green was Swiss cheese. We fixed all of our divots though, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing like committing a crime and following it up with
No,
admitting
we
it
fixed it.
later
We
on a
fixed it.
podcast.
We fixed it. Hey, it was during operational hours. Okay, anyway.
Oh yeah, trespassing on an Indian reserve too is a great idea. Dream hairdo: Brad Pitt as Achilles in the movie Troy, or Brad Pitt as Tyler Durden during the majority of the movie in Fight Club.
Wow.
Have you seen both movies?
Just say
Is it wrong to say that I haven't?
Yes.
Just say Troy.
Can I can I defer to another question?
Sure. But then you got to answer the last one, and it's pretty bad. If you could only eat one burger for the rest of your life, where would it be from, and what would be on it?
A&W Papa Cheese with just ketchup.
I love it.
Whoa, that was quick. That was quick.
Go to.
He's hungry.
Greatest stadium or arena you have ever attended a professional game?
Honestly, I'd have to say two, and one for a specific reason. I love the Staples Center. There's nothing quite like the Staples Center for me. I've been there the last 3 years, gone Kings games, saw a Clippers game there. It's just a great venue. I went with a buddy, I think it was 5 years ago, to Minnesota when Minnesota was, maybe 4 years ago, when Minnesota was building the new stadium. And I actually got to watch the Patriots Vikings in the Minnesota Golf NCAA football stadium. And that was
Yeah.
very impressive. I like the college venues. To me, they just have such a wholesome atmosphere as far as bringing fans together. 70,000 people outdoors, middle of August, September. Great venue.
Yeah, for sure.
I love those games.
Favorite non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to?
Holy
I'm
shit.
just kidding. You don't have to answer that. I'm just kidding.
Well, fuck. Well, if you're gonna ask it, I mean, like, no, I'm just kidding. No, we're moving on. Okay, so that gave everybody a really good chance to get to see how just completely stupid we are. So the first topic we're gonna have this week is the MLB proposal to the Players Association to return. Just to give everybody a little bit of a background, some people may have heard the whole proposal, some haven't. I'm actually going to give you guys the proposal to the players. So it was an 82-game schedule, universal DH in both leagues, 14-team postseason, 50-50 revenue split for players and owners. The schedule will primarily be the NL East, West, and Central would play the AL East, West, and Central along with their division. 30-man active rosters, 20-player taxi squad. The best record in each league receives a bye. 2 division winners and the top wildcard team will host all the games of the series, and 2 other division winners get to pick their opponents. Want to keep in mind for this discussion, so the prorated salaries is based on an 82-game schedule. Now, if the season, and I looked this up 2 different places, so I can't pull an Arenado out of my ass. If 2020 were to be canceled, players would only receive 4% of their salary. So I'm going to use Blake Snell because we're getting into the Blake Snell stuff. $7 million, season canceled, $280,000. Do these guys have a right to be pissed off with the owners asking for a 50-50 revenue split?
No.
On the money side, I actually don't. That's the part that bothers me the most is when they talk about the money. Actually, the players who actually say, and I actually thought I would have been the other way, where it would have been like if they were worried about getting sick and getting other people sick and the whole contracting the virus thing was an issue. I thought I'd be like, oh, come on. But I actually am okay with that excuse, but I can't stand when they make it about the money. Like, I cannot stand it. And so for anyone that's bringing that into play, how they just won't play because it's not enough for them to play, those are the ones that are going down in my books.
Yeah, it's not about the money all of a sudden because the whole plan is the owners said they want to share the risk, correct? That was their whole plan?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? The players think that they're trying to shimmy this into their CBA, what I'd read. And
they
they're
feel
not.
that if they accept this and do this revenue sharing, it's the first step for them to justify having a salary cap. MLB does not have a salary cap, never has. It's one of the reasons there has been a lockout because they have been very fortunate to not have to be forced to that. I guess my stance is, and I'm going to use Blake Snell. Blake Snell, if you're going to sit there and bitch and say that it's not worth risking your life to not get paid enough, and you're going to sit there and make that public, and we've got healthcare workers, frontline workers, people that have to go to work at a grocery store, anybody else that is deemed an essential worker is going out there and making pennies on the dollar compared to what your annual salary is. You can take that and you can shove it up your ass. There is no way that you're going to sit there and tell me it's not worth risking my life. You don't want to risk your life, then don't play. There's minor leaguers that will be ready to play and hungry and ready to go because they know this is an opportunity for the rest of their life. Obviously, you've had it too cushy, because if you're not willing to go out there and earn your paycheck, then you don't deserve to anyways. I know I'm being quite harsh with it, but everyone's in a situation where they're like, not everyone, but there's a lot of people that don't have a job right now, are out of money, and you're going to sit there and complain that you're not making enough to go out and risk your life. But the doctors and the nurses that have been quarantined for their families, they're different.
Is he actually, I forget the context of what that actually was. Is he saying that he's not making enough due to the risk, or he's just not making enough due to the proposal?
The way the way I read it was he's not making enough to risk going out and getting sick. And
it's about the money. He's using COVID.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. It's not a secret. You read the article that the article that I read and I went through thoroughly. You can tell. He's like, oh yeah, well, I can't go out there and risk my life. No, man, you just don't want to play for the money that you're being offered. Right. That's what it is.
Yep.
That's what I was getting at, was I'm cool with bowing out. I wouldn't do it. But I mean, I'm cool if they separate the two. I think Doolittle was the one who actually said he doesn't like. I don't think he said as much money as much as he said coronavirus. Like he didn't want.
Yeah, no. Like in my mind, what Snell's doing and what he's saying is he's saying it's not worth risking my life. So it's not enough money that it's not worth risking your life. What's your life worth then? How much would be enough money? Because that's like, why are you even saying that then?
Well, that's to Lane's point, where like look at all these essential workers who are doing that for a lot less money, and you don't see. I mean, obviously, there's probably some cases out there where they are bowing out and stuff, but it's not a fair argument, or it's not a fair reason. Another thing that I like to point out that I like about this, and I was trying to think of some guys that have never really been ones to appreciate fans, and now that you see the fans go away out of the stadiums and that's really where the money's not coming from.
Yeah.
So those guys who they've always just had the cocky attitude. There's a little bit of me that just sort of likes to sort of see them squirm about the money more than anything. Although, all it's causing is no sports. Like if they can't figure something out, I mean, we're just not going to get into any baseball this year.
They're going to be resented. And I said this earlier. If you make this about money and you don't play because you don't want to accept less money to go out and just play for 1 year and get your salary prorated to the end of your contract, it's going to fall on deaf ears. First of all, it already is. I mean, I've been reading social media. Fans are just carving these guys up. And it hasn't even gotten to that issue in the debate yet with the league and the Players Association. But you want to see people.
About something. You said Blake Snell saying this because of its health, even though Boomer, you mentioned you think it's actually because of money, but
it's not because of health. It's no. The MLB has created. I don't know the specifics. It's going to come out, but the MLB wouldn't put these guys in a situation where their health is going to be at risk. There's going to be testing, social distancing. I mean, baseball is like literally the only sport where social distancing occurs. Like. The only time you're not is when
you'll never get the full state of it. But Pratt, what was your point?
I guess what I'm lost in is like Tony Clark is the one that's like, no, we're not doing this deal, right? It's bullshit for the players. And it became about money. Blake Snell, if it's about money, then okay. But on the surface, he actually said it's about health. And I think, are we not overstepping the boundaries on actually questioning Blake Snell over the other guys that actually said it's about money? I mean, if it's about health, then vote for it. And if you vote against it, then, or don't play. If he doesn't play, he still gets his 4%, right?
Well, I think what the issue is yeah, it's okay for Blake to say it's about health, but for him to say it's not worth it, and to have, like Lane said, people out there doing much more, putting themselves at way more risk than what he is. I just think it's a bit of a slap in the face to essential worker. It just pisses. That's why it pisses me off, is because he's using it as a reason to get more money. And I'm almost okay with both sides to use it as a point, but I just hate leveraging the risk to get more money in this area.
Yeah, I don't see it as a slap in the face, I guess, because I'm not sold that it's just about money with him. And he's actually giving up $6.7 million, right? Based on what he's saying.
Tentatively, if they play, he's giving that up. But
Yeah, I mean,
What do
what
you
are we
think-
talking about here?
What's his essential reason then?
What's that?
What's his reasoning? Is it because of the risk, or is it because of the money?
Well, do we know that? We don't know that. So we know other guys, though, are actually about the money, and we're most mad at Blake Snell, who's actually said,
I think the big thing is he's the last guy to come out and say something.
He's the dumb jackass that said it. So, I mean, if you're going to say it, you better be prepared to get roasted.
I guess I'll put this in just say my boss is like, "Okay, Jeff, we need you to come back to work." Say I pick a number. Say I make
200 grand.
And I'm like, no, I'm worried about my health. I'm going to stay home and I'm going to make 10 grand. Do you call, is the guy selfish for doing that, or?
Not at all. But if you say to him, "I'll come back for 220,"
Yeah,
It's about the money.
then it's about the money more than it is about that. I think that's as I said at the beginning, I actually don't mind the guys. Surprisingly, I don't mind the guys who are strictly saying, "I'm not doing it for health reasons."
Yeah.
You respect that. But the guys that are doing it for the money reasons, to me, it's a little bit of a sell.
You're never going to, okay, but like I said, if you're anybody that's sitting there and you're realizing that these doctors and nurses are sitting there having to deal with this literally on the front line at these hospitals, feet away from these people that have it, and this guy's bitching about his possibility of getting COVID-19, come on, I'm not buying it. I mean, these people go and do it for way less and have to put themselves in harm's way. They need a job, they need a paycheck. You want your paycheck, go play for it. You don't want to play, go sell cars. Bottom line.
Can I bring up my buddy Trevor Bauer and just something quick that he basically stood on? Because him and his agent actually did a recording of about an hour and a half talking just about this, and he flat out said, he's like, "No, man," he's like, "it's the money. Like, it's like, you want me to have 50-50, but he's like, but then I basically have to rely on Rob Manfred marketing the game of baseball as in the new aspect that it's gonna be." He's like, "No, man, like just give the players more money." He goes, "I'll market it myself." Like, Trevor Bauer came out right from the start and said, "No, it's definitely about the money." I can respect that more than I can respect, but I mean, to me, if you're looking at it in like the union and owners standpoint, you're never going to make everybody happy in the MLBPA. So,
well, either way, the
tough.
owners are going to feel slighted, and then the players are going to feel slighted. No one's going to win here. The bottom line is, if you want to play and you want to save this season and actually have something for the fans to get behind and be positive, you got to put it aside for a year, take your loss, and they're going to respect that. And chances are, when things get back to normal, you're going to have more people wanting to get out of the house and go to a ball game. You slight them now, you ain't getting them back. I'm telling you.
That'll be 18 months of no baseball if this doesn't go. Like,
don't even want to talk about that, because that's just painful to think about. Well, I do like what we hit here. Like I said, me personally, don't respect it. I respect his stance if it's based on health. If it's not based on health, I got nothing for you. So that's just me.
Well, and it could just be the media twisting it that way and making it look like that, because we all know it's something they do. It's a better story that way, so who knows? It got us talking about it.
I
So
think I did read though in the article that he came back out after and said, you know, it might have been taken out of context a little bit, but I'm still standing beside what I said. So,
okay.
I mean, it's a ballsy statement to make at the current point we're at right now. Bottom line, I just hope they come back and play because I don't know how many more months I can do this.
Yeah, sure.
I need my sports. Otherwise, I'm like yard work is not doing it for me. Cutting grass is just not. No.
You're racing the neighbor. You're like, hey, start at the same time, and then you guys just rip and cut your front lawns, or what? Little competition. Any
Boy,
gambling, Wallace?
she's dry times. I mean, I'm literally dying a slow death every day.
Oh,
Like
God.
no hockey playoffs, no basketball, no golf, no baseball. I got nothing.
Coming. Golf's
A
coming.
month ago, I did karaoke, Tuesday night karaoke, Mr. Mike's with my wife, and I realized I hit an all-time new low in my life. And like, what are you supposed to do?
What song?
You went to Mike's?
Well, you know what? I heard it was actually okay. Mr. Mike's. It wasn't bad, but when you're doing karaoke over the phone, you
What?
realize things that it's Pratt. I'll have to.
What? This is a thing?
It
All
is
right.
a thing. It is a thing. Mr. Mike's was doing it. It's
Okay.
you go online, you listen, they play the song, you answer, you can win prizes. I mean, the
Oh, wow.
premise is there, but when you're sitting in the living room on a Tuesday night and all of a sudden you look over.
Tune or is it karaoke?
Sorry.
Is it name that tune or karaoke?
Oh, sorry. I guess name that tune if you really want.
Okay, moving on.
Okay,
and
that's
I was going to have him sing Cheap Seats for us.
so while we're still talking about that, we're actually gonna kind of transition into the NHL part of things here. Jeff, do you see it coming back? I know we talked about this earlier. It was one of your questions, but elaborate.
My answer was I don't think it will come back. I think with the United States the way they are, they're just health-wise, they're not quite in the same spot, I guess, as we are in this area. So I just don't think they'll come to a conclusion where they do start up again. But I hope they do, and I think they should. Because I think everyone's worrying a little too much about that, but that's for another day.
You know what? You know what though? Like you touched on it yesterday when we were just texting. The difference between just the states, how each individual state is treating it. Like, how are you going to get everybody on the same page?
Right. Yeah, I think they should, and I just don't see it all coming together. But I'm curious though, because I have an idea if they did start what they should do, and I want to hear your guys too, and we can.
They have to have 4 hub cities. There's no 2 ways about it. There has to be 4 locations. The teams all have to be quarantined and be willing to go at it for the long haul to get the season done. Stay amongst each other. Can't be around other people. There will be testing done, I feel. If someone tests positive, I'm going to refer to the NBA. They basically said, if someone tests positive, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to shut it down. That means that person's going to go into quarantine. You're going to test all the others, make sure they're good to go, and you continue on. If others show symptoms, then you move them out of the situation. I don't see how we can carry on. This thing could last months upon months. And if we really shut all this down, it's just hurting everybody in the long run. And I don't think people understand it. If you want to stay at home, close your doors, pull your blinds down, pretend like you're being safe. All the power to you. I'm not going to judge you, but at some point, life has to go on. We've been dealing with stuff like this for years. There's been plagues, all sorts of stuff. This is not a, I understand that everyone's saying it's more contagious. The NHL needs to take a stand with the MLB. They need to be one of the first ones to come back, finish it. If they can show that it's successful, that lays the groundwork for the NFL. That lays the groundwork for everything going forward. So that's my take on it.
Let's hear Pratsky's proposal.
Okay. Everyone keeps talking about playoffs, all that bullshit. and this isn't, I'm not being biased because I'm an Ovechkin fan. I want him to get 50 goals. I want him to win the Rocket. But why don't they do whatever they can to finish the regular season? Okay? Because I got thinking and just listen to Chicklets when they talk about, like, what happens in this situation? If you finish the regular season, there's no, your draft's going to be fine. Okay? You know where everyone finished. Same as always. Incentives for players, conditional picks, bonuses, awards, the history of the game. It's all kept intact if they just finish the regular season. And then when you go to playoffs, do the regular thing, drop the series, start the round of 16, one game. One game. It's like Super Bowl down here, right? Just one game. Everyone's going to be watching their teams. Play it, go to the next round. Maybe it's one game and then maybe best of 3 and then best of 5 or 7 for the final. And then the guys got time to I guess, rest before the next season starts. But finish that regular season. Don't stop now and pick 24 teams and do all this or playoff between them. Finish it. Get it in there. So all the incentives, draft picks, conditional picks, you don't have to worry about that paperwork and that mess.
How many games do the Washington Capitals have left?
Everyone's around the 12 mark.
Okay, so
3 weeks. If it could be 3 weeks of plan.
I don't hate your playoff proposal at all, like at all, because
You can't have
love it.
single elimination games. You have to have best of 3s. You have to have best of 3s.
Why?
Single elimination is garbage. This isn't the
I
NCAA.
played at a hub anyway.
This isn't the NCAA. Give your head a shake. You have
no,
to have
you know
the
what?
best of
No,
3.
no, I'm gonna stick with Pratt on this one because you're not having a home game. You're not having home fans. You're playing for the people that are sitting at home watching it. I'm fine with Jeff's idea.
Hockey's
I would
never
love
had a
to
single elimination game ever.
Professional hockey game.
Well,
Have we ever had a pandemic that's basically kept 97% of the public at home for 8 weeks?
Wow, I mean, come on. You want to have some validity and you want to have some consistency.
now, Lane,
It's a
if-
playoff series. There's not playoff elimination. It's a playoff
If-
series.
if they get the season done at, say, whatever day, and if time allows for a best of 3, great. But I think you flirt with the idea that if need be, because we want to get it done early for guys to rest before next season, it's a one game in the round of 16. And it's whether that covers 3 nights, 2 nights, everyone's going to be watching that one game.
I'll watch it and I'll be pumped. I'm just saying I don't like the premise of it, right? The other thing too is I have a vested.
Like, it's a different. It would be something that you've never seen before in your entire life. It'd be a once in a lifetime opportunity. You would have teams. We'll say at full health, as much as some are going to have some injuries right into the playoffs, but like the only taste that you'd ever get is a game 7. And if you get to a game 7 that has that type of atmosphere, they've played 6 games, hard playoff games before that. You would actually get to witness as much energy from a team and just the atmosphere of the whole game. You're talking about a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I hope we never go through this again. But I actually think that's my favorite part. I don't even care about the regular season. Pratt, you do just want the Ovechkin goals.
No, I care about.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. That's why I asked how many games they had left, because he knows Ovechkin's getting it if they have enough games, and let's just call a spade a spade.
No, but my favorite part about it was actually, I thought you were going to say ride or out, single game the whole time, and I was pumped.
You can't have a Stanley Cup final as one game.
I would agree.
Listen, you know what? Hey, welcome to the podcast, Jeff Pratt, because I am a big fan of that take. Huge fan.
I think I should tweet the commish.
Let's do
I think
it.
you should be the commish.
I 100% agree with the fact it needs to get done. The only reason I have that stance, I'm fantasy invested. I've got leagues.
We all are. We all are. Come
But you know
on.
what I'm saying, right? Like, I've talked to a lot of my leagues, and we have things in place where if there is no finish to the season, this is how we're going to proceed. I don't like it. I don't like having to do that. There should be a winner. I'd like to see. They're going to have to adjust the schedule. You know what I mean? Like, the schedule as you see it now will not be the schedule that they're going to play. They're going to pick those 8 teams in an area, and you're going to play those teams to finish up your 12 games. regardless, it still counts for fantasy stats, and at least you get a finish to your season. That's my take on it. Pratt, I don't mind. No, I'm not even gonna flounder on my take. Fucking 1 game series bullshit. No, I'm not jumping back.
I love it.
As much as I want to agree with you, Pratt, dumb as shit. No, I'm not with it. But
First round, 1 game, bank it.
boy,
I like it. I like it. Cool.
okay.
Like it.
I like where we went with that. Also, Mitch Marner, you're a jackass. For those that don't know, go ahead and look at what he commented, because I'm not even getting into it. I'm already pissed off at Blake Snell. Mitch Marner, you can go.
It's the same.
He's mad at Snell. He's mad at Mitch Marner. He's mad at Jeff for creating a 1-game playoff series. It's all good, Wallace.
Well, no, it's the purist in me. Like, I'm not trying to. Pratt, your idea is not bad. I'm a purist. You can't. We're not the SJHL. We're not doing the Survivor Series here. Like, this is not. This is NHL. It's well, guys, like, I get it. You're preaching I'm just saying, if you can safely do more than 1 game, you can do a 3-game series. You do that in the first round. Then you go to a 5, the conference final of 7, and the Stanley Cup final of 7.
Hey, no, that's what Pratt's saying. He's saying do what you can. But if you squeeze the regular season in, and then because you need to fit those games in, trim some from the playoffs, keep the integrity, like you're saying, of the NHL, finish this regular season, 82-game schedule to keep, as you said, records and everything like that intact. And
why are we on a forced timeline?
Jeff's idea.
Who's saying we can't start the NHL season in November instead of October? There's no forced timeline here, guys.
Maybe they could. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's valid.
Allotted for playoffs. If you're tight on time, go the 1-game scenario, right?
If they come back, they're going to finish the regular season in June, and you're going to see playoff hockey July and August. You're going to have to give those teams time off. You got to have your draft. You've got to let teams prepare. There's got to be a free agency period. I mean, we're not going back to hockey in October. October 7th or 8th usually is when it starts. You're talking November 15th, and then you're going to extend your season. You're going to be playing.
Is that a
boy later?
What's that?
The 15th.
No, I'm saying if you need that month buffer. If the season starts
4 p.m. or 6 p.m.
November 15th would be the ideal time to give you a month, because you need that month with the draft and free agency. You guys can all suck it.
You're right. You're right. You need the draft, so we'll call it 9:30, November 15th.
Hey, you can kiss my ass, Boomer. So with that being said, we're moving on to the next topic we had. We kind of touched on it last week. Didn't hit it that hard. We realized we were kind of pushing for time. Nobody wants to listen to us for an hour and a half. I mean, shit, I couldn't even watch it for an hour and a half. We're hitting the last dance again. We want to kind of get into a couple more topics. I know Pratt was a big Jordan fan. I grew up in that era. Wilson watched Boomer. I don't know if you even know who Michael Jordan is. So we're gonna go. I watched episode 7 and 8. So far, I mean, they've done an excellent job with this. I love it.
I think those are my favorite too.
Sorry?
7. I think those were my favorite too. 7.
Yeah.
And 8.
I think ESPN needs to get a lot of credit for what they did here. This wasn't supposed to come out until, I believe, July. And they saw an opportunity to give fans something to watch and to really get pumped about. Everyone I've talked to, people that I didn't even realize actually watched basketball, are like, hey, did you see The Last Dance? Like, my sister, I kid you not, she's one of the biggest Jordan fans ever. I'm not BSing. She had Air Jordans, had posters, loved them. And she's every week watching this. When I see this, though, there's a few things that stand out to me. Scottie Pippen's a bitch. He's a bitch. You're a quitter. You're flat out a quitter. I don't like that shit. You quit on your team. You basically cried about a contract that you signed, and you were told not to sign it because it was not a reflection of what you were worth. But you wanted to look after your own safety and comfort going forward. But then you tried to hold the team hostage and sit out and make bad decisions that affected the team. He's not a team player. Honestly, I have a whole new view on Scottie. Anybody else?
Is anyone And I don't think anyone's debating that, but are you guys surprised? Because I am. I didn't know Scotty was like that.
I'm debating the Scotty thing. I don't think he's a bitch.
Oh, you don't?
No. Here's my thing about it is, okay, there's two things. You mentioned the contract and you mentioned the quitting. There's the contract thing. You level with the guy. This happens all the time where guys, whether they sign a bad contract and then things change and they evolve and they renegotiate. Guys renegotiate all the time. They kind of flat out said there was not
Now
much.
they do. They didn't then, Wilson.
No,
They didn't
I
back
know,
then. Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that he can't try. But I don't even want to. Here's the part that I found ironic about the quitting part. Pippen quit for 8 seconds of a game and immediately came back and kind of regretted it, apologized for it, and owned up to it. Jordan quit for a season and a half. Just bailed on his team. And you can talk about what's going on.
No, you're not. No.
You can talk about what's going on with his dad. You can talk about all that stuff.
No.
But there's no background story for what Pippen had. Here's the thing that I don't blame Pippen for quitting. I'm not saying I would have done it. But here's the thing. He rode in Jordan's shadow for all those years.
We should have.
No, he would be the first to admit he's taking a backseat to Jordan. He rides it. And here's the other thing. Jordan never talks about Scotty being like a flake. He praises Pippen the whole time.
Yep.
He called him out. He did. He called him out about the sitting out with the injury and said he was being selfish.
Yeah.
And
yeah, in that part. Jordan retires. Pippen finally gets to be the man, gets to take this game-winning shot. Jackson draws it up for Kukoc. You gotta admit, just when they've drawn that play up for Jordan for the last how many years, and then just when Pippen thought this is my shot in the playoffs, they draw it up for was Tony a rookie then? Was he a rookie that year? Maybe
I don't know.
second.
I think year two. I think year two because
Anyway.
Jordan played with Kukoc. I think year two.
Before this doc pins
Was
the
he a
bitch-
rookie? Pretty
Before
sure.
this doc pins the bitch label on Pippen, I mean, let's be fair to the guy.
Okay,
in
but
this-
let's also be fair. You're going to sit there and tell me that you, in a playoff game, you're Phil Jackson? I don't remember Scottie Pippen being a shooter, man. Scottie Pippen ain't making threes.
I'm not questioning the decision. He hit the shot. That actually makes the whole thing a moot point.
No,
But
Kukoc, I'm saying. Yeah, you're Kukoc to hit the shot.
Yeah.
But Scottie was never an outside shooter. Scottie was an inside guy, drive the lane, top of the key, that type of shit.
I'm not saying it was the wrong call. I'm just leveling with Pippen here, and I'm refusing to call the guy a bitch.
I'm telling you right now, any one of you guys, I'm playing a game, in a playoff game, and you pull that shit with 0.8 seconds or 1.2 seconds left in the game, you're dead to me. You don't quit. In a playoff game, come on, man. That's Bush League.
I'm not saying I would have done it. I'm just I do empathize for the guy a little bit in the situation. I think he's got still one of the greatest careers. To have this, I'm defending him to say don't judge him by that 8 seconds, and even by this documentary. Like, this is a Jordan doc.
Yeah.
Okay, but everyone, I'm gonna pose the question to all three of you. You're playing in a playoff game. If your teammate does that, what's your response to your teammate?
Well, you know me.
You're gonna-
He's hearing about it. You know me. I've never been one to keep my mouth shut about something like that, or
Right.
even things that are less important. So he's
Pratt,
hearing about it.
You're as competitive as I know. And I mean, if someone quits on you in a playoff game, are you going to be happy about it?
No.
When he's your top guy?
No, it would, and I hear your point, Wells. I can't compare a retirement to game or whatever, a playoff game when the guy's actually playing, right? And completely bails on his team, right? Retirements, that's different. I maybe some selfishness in retiring, but that I don't like comparing the two like that.
I don't really hold Jordan as selfish for retiring. At that point, he needed a break. He had been giving his everything. His dad died. I mean, let's keep it in perspective, right? Like, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Wilson, but the retirement, I'm more laughing at the fact that he retired, and then the same owner of the Bulls that he retired on, he went and signed with the owner of the.
Look, I'm not saying Jordan should have retired. I'm more defending Pippen in this. That is it. And I can't stand how he's getting labeled as a bitch, because this is not just us talking about it. It's like he's
Everyone, yeah.
over the last few episodes, and I don't think it's fair.
The
And
shitty thing is, though, Wilson, he flat out came out and said in that episode he wouldn't have changed it.
Exactly. He had a chance. He had a chance to come back on it. Yeah. Floor was hidden, which he should have.
No, I'm still sticking with my idea that the only reason that he did what he did when he got the surgery when he did was because he wasn't confident enough in himself to be like, you know what, I got the surgery, I'm healthy, but I'm going to hold out here. Because like Wallace said before, people didn't do it back then. But if he would have actually done that and then sat on the sidelines and said, hey, these guys are going to suck without me, I personally, I had more respect for that. As stupid as that sounds, I would have felt better if he'd made the decision, did it consciously, did it out in the public and let people rip him, than do it the way he did. Especially now, what he says.
Taking heat for it. That's why, I mean, I'll stick up for the guy.
I can respect
I
it.
have a
That's fine. I might not agree with you, but I can respect it. Is it fair for? Oh.
It's preference.
Theory on Pippen and his bitterness, because it sucks to be riding in Jordan's coattails, of course, right? But he was okay with it. But think of a player that good and not getting the endorsements that basketball players get. I got thinking of that, right? He's not seeing any of that money, which probably, what would that do to, like, was he making $2 or $3 million a year? He could have probably doubled or tripled that with endorsements, but he literally, he's like the Otis Nixon of the NBA. He's got the most unmarketable face.
Okay.
Saw no money coming in for that. I don't even know if he had any.
You know what, man? Not all of us can be as pretty as you, but I hear where you're coming from.
You know what? I believe this is true. You might, because Pippen does get paid. I think he
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, he makes more than Jordan in his NBA career.
Oh, he may as well have had a mask and a gun when he signed that contract with the Portland Trail Blazers.
Yeah.
He was at the tail end of his career. He made away like a bandit. Go look it up. Anybody you want to see how much Scottie Pippen, go look up what his net worth is. It is
That's kind
insane.
of the silver.
I don't have the number right now. I looked it up and it was like, dude, you got paid, and for that stretch of your career, you were not that good. You were a support player.
That happens all the time.
I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just still saying
Pippen, you just hate Pippen, Wallace. Come on.
he came off as a big douche in some of the. He did, Wilson. I'm sorry, he did. I'm not trying to, stir the pot. The guy did come off as kind of a dink, like a lot of times in this series. I mean, he also came off as a guy that, I'd want to go to war with sometimes, which is good. But to sit there and actually quit on your team and then apologize in the locker room to a guy like Bill Cartwright, who's heart and soul and veteran, and the guy's in tears because you quit on the team, and you give an apology to the team and you effed up. But then to sit in this documentary and say I wouldn't have changed anything, it's a slap in the face.
No, I mean, there's some remorse there, I think. He could have probably said it more. What I'm getting at is they've obviously moved past it. Like, he played for the team for they won 3 more championships after that. I know Jordan was involved, but Pippen was right there winning them alongside. Like, I think everyone was able to put it behind him and knew it was more of a lapse than it was a Pippen's a bitch, I can't trust this guy type thing. So
Can respect it. Anybody else think Michael Jordan has jaundice?
I was right when I said too much Billy Rubin. That's what that is with yellow eyes.
How are your eyes that yellow? I don't understand. I don't get
I
it.
gave you my theory.
I just love that guy.
Who's that?
I mean, MJ, what have you gotten tested? Because I get looked at, man. There's some yellowing of the eyes going on there that I'm just not. Every episode.
I have a question. Speaking of being a bitch, what do you guys think when they're interviewing people and they're showing them the iPad of an interview they just did to like try and create?
Oh, I loved it.
Like, is that
Gary
the most
Payton, you are
childish
trash.
thing?
Gary Payton, don't sit there and be like, you didn't contain shit. Gary Payton, you're a great defender. You were a great player. You will never be compared to Michael Jordan, not even close. Don't say that you banged him and had to wear him out. If anything, the only reason they got to the finals, yeah, Peyton, you're okay. Sean Kemp was the reason they got to where they got, right?
Well, he was a big leader on that team.
But
Like he was.
Yeah.
so
But
I
okay,
just laugh how they're showing the iPad. Like look what he said about you. Now say something exciting for the camera. Like it just I don't know. I
it's
love the
If you want to talk about footage of that, there is no greater footage of the entire doc than the beginning of episode 7. When that reporter asked
Oh.
Crow that question,
Yeah.
actually gives a very good answer.
Yeah.
That's like the number one Kraus moment.
Yeah.
And then he walks out and the other reporter goes, "Way to go, Craig."
yeah, yeah. I do remember that was good. I guess the other thing too I wanted to touch on is it fair for the media to carve him up for going and after that playoff game against the Knicks and going to Atlantic City and gambling with his dad?
No, I was furious every time I watched that part. I'm like, are you kidding? Well, are you kidding me? Like, this is like, come on. It must have been really, really slow in the media that day or week or whatever. Like, give me a break. That's a story? No, come on. That was brutal.
Well, it was only a story because they lost.
It is, but I mean, can you imagine? Like, I can
Ooh.
understand, and I can't even believe my wife and I were talking about this. Can you imagine being him and having to deal with all the media and everything every day, cameras in your face? I mean, they do it today too, but when you're MJ, you're on a different level, right? People are constantly asking you, "Are you going to retire? Is this your last year?" Everything that gets picked apart in the media. I can't blame the guy for wanting to retire and take some time away to be. But in that same sense, he actually created more media by going and playing baseball, right? So I think MJ will always be a hound for the attention, but I don't think he expects it. I think it just comes with being MJ. That's just
I don't think he went and played baseball for the attention. I think if you actually pay attention to everything that he says, he's such a hound to compete. He
Yep.
needed to go and do something that challenged him that brought that into his life. That's what I think happened.
Well,
there.
he was betting security guards for flipping coins against the wall for $20 a shot. So
That was pretty cool too. I kind of want to see. I was practicing that earlier today,
good
but
on him. It's tough. I tried. Then again, I don't have flat basement walls, so it didn't work out so well. Jordan's attitude, good, bad, as a teammate. What do we think?
Great.
Love it. Me
He's an
personally, I think
asshole, but he
yeah.
can be. He's a lovable asshole.
Wallace, you could not play with him.
Oh no, I'd have quit. He yelled at me once in the post for like missing a pass. I'd have went and cried in the locker room. I'm being honest.
You wouldn't even made it to a game. You practice, he would have chewed you up and spit you out.
Oh, 100%. I don't disagree with that.
Personally, I love it. I don't think it, like, you always talk about, like, and this is the stupid debate about players in different eras versus each other. Jordan playing today, I don't know how well that would work. Like, look at a guy like Jimmy Butler. He's bouncing around and he's kind of, I think he's
Jimmy Butler's not MJ though.
No, I know, but even in the earlier state, I just don't know if it would have been as effective.
Everyone's soft now, Wilson. Everyone's soft now.
That's my point.
everyone on Earth.
And I'm saying this, and if anybody's got a problem with this, society, you've gone soft. Like not even, it is so disgustingly soft how our society, I'm sorry, and I'm not tough or hard by any stretch of imagination, but shit.
You hard.
Hard. Okay. We'll touch base on episodes 9 and 10 then in our next episode, and we'll kind of wrap things up. When we do wrap it up for our next episode, I do want to have the MJ LeBron debate. Good Lord, it's the old adage question. I hear it every day. Who's better? We're not going
It's not a debate.
Nope. We're not. We got to keep the people wanting more. Okay, guys, got to keep the people wanting more. So we're just going to leave it there. This weekend, we got some golf matches coming up, and I'm not talking about Pratt and Wilson at Woodlawn because nobody wants to watch that.
Oh.
We've got, but Pratt, if you want to put some maybe a tie bubble or a ping putter on the line, me and you can go out and see if we can prove Boomer wrong on that prediction of his.
Oh, any one-on-one, you and me?
Absolutely. Straight up,
Anytime,
straight up, no
anytime.
strokes, just straight up.
I'm in. I want in.
Oh,
Okay, fine. The cheap seats is
not
going for a golf match. Let's set her up in June.
I'm in. Cups in or out?
They're in. The
They got
Cups are
lifters.
ready to go. Tomorrow we're playing real golf.
Does Woodlawn have lifters?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, because that was one of the coolest inventions I saw that came out of COVID. Really, like.
Well, I'm kind of hoping for a vaccine to trump that, but you know that.
Yeah, you might be waiting your whole life for that, man. So.
So when is the match this weekend?
You know,
Sunday.
I believe it's on
Monday?
Saturday. No, I think it's on
I
Saturday.
think it's Sunday.
You might be right. Sunday. I know. I think it said
it's
2
Sunday.
p.m. Eastern on Sunday. The reason I'm not 100% sure is from my point of view. We're talking about this because this is one of the first sporting events to come back. NASCAR. No disrespect to NASCAR. I don't give a shit. If I wanted to sit and watch TV for 2 hours and watch guys turn left, I don't know why I would live. But so if
MMA's on, by the way. That's been interesting.
what's that?
MMA's been on. I watched it last Saturday.
Yeah, Wallace commented on that. He watched it either previous or during the podcast, and he was not impressed with the no fans. He made it quite
Oh,
clear.
it sucks, but it was good fights, and it was hey, put a little money on the fights, and
Speaking of no fans, did you see what I did text you there about Joe Buck saying they're going to interact music or fan noise and crowd noise and all that with NFL broadcasts?
Well, they do it already, hey? They do it already. Like,
well, I think it's more to just drown out Joe Buck because no one wants to listen to Joe Buck, which I'm cool with, right? So,
easy. Play golf with him. He's a
were you
great guy.
guys riding his dick too, Joe Buck?
No,
Really?
I'm
give me a break.
serious.
I like Joe.
Yeah, I
Oh
love
my
Joe.
God. Well, yeah, I guess if you wanted to, holy God, I'd rather listen to David Suzuki on the nature of things.
No, you wouldn't. No.
Yeah,
Play for him.
I can't do it.
He's
I
a very
can't.
nice guy. You want to hear
Buck's a
something?
legend.
Want to hear something cool? You hit your tee shot on a par 3 and have Joe Buck call it live.
Wow.
So we've got Rory and DJ versus Wolf and Ricky. I think this is garbage. I feel.
Why are the teams so uneven?
Just hold on. What's that?
Why are the teams so uneven?
Because
Well,
I heard Spieth didn't want to
didn't
play.
Wolf and Ricky play together at college, or our old college, Oklahoma. I believe that ties into this. Their alma mater is Oklahoma. I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't really back it up like my Arenado contract and my NLCS prediction, but I'm just saying that could be. I do remember reading that. The thing is like I said, if you really want to have some spice to this, these guys are all millionaires. Play for your own money. Don't play for a cause. Play for your own money. Give me a reason to. Absolutely, Pratt. Make them putt those 6-foot putts that mean something.
What?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Jeff, okay, so you're going to sit there and tell me that it's okay to ask people to donate to watch these guys golf? Really? Really?
The money win goes to you. We just lost all 102 listeners we have because we hate charity apparently. What the?
No. You didn't hear what I said.
Okay.
I respect the charity aspect of it, but play for your own money and then donate your own money.
Oh, okay.
Don't
You know what I like?
me to donate to watch you golf. I can't leave my house in some areas, but I'm supposed to pay money to watch you golf to donate my money. Play for your own money and then donate it.
I see.
You know what I like?
They trade money with each other.
Well, I mean, come on. People, I like charity. I do. Pratt was misled. It's nothing wrong with charity.
I stand corrected. I agree with you. I like that idea.
You know what idea I actually like, and I just thought of it for some reason? Like, what if you had something like a bounty? Like, if any one of these 4 guys misses an 8-footer under putt, it's 10 grand to whatever.
Exactly.
or $5,000 to whatever, or like a negative Sandy is like
Yeah.
negative Sandy's like 15 grand or something like that, or you hit it in the water. It basically turns into the coin game out, but on
Love
TV with pros. I think that'd be a howl, and I'd enjoy watching it. That'd be pretty cool.
So I guess I'll take it a step further with this whole thing. We got the Brady, Manning, Tiger, Phil. Once again, Phil trying to cling to some sort of relevancy in life at this point.
Oh, come on. Don't be so hard on Phil.
Guys,
Phil's wicked, man.
guys,
Phil's awesome.
we have the same birth date and he's a lefty and I can't stand the guy. I should be like, I'm
You
sorry.
can't stand Phil Mickelson?
We have the same birthday.
We really do.
Don't you know that rule? If you have the same
What
birthday,
an asshole.
Well, we have to like each other, right? You've never read that Golf Digest article about how all the players on tour called him Fig Jam?
They don't
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they don't like him,
Like,
for sure.
no offense, Phil, you haven't won shit in what, 5 years? Anytime I've watched him, the guy can barely make the cut.
Didn't
What
he?
makes you
Wait a
think
minute,
I want to watch you play?
2016 Open, didn't he? He won the 2016 Open, didn't he?
beat Tiger.
It's almost 5 years ago.
He beat Tiger in the match. I'm trying to think here. What has he done lately? No, in reality though, like you can have you actually watched the Faraday episodes with him on them? He's actually a
Briefly.
howl. He's
I-
a likable guy.
Maybe
I
he
used to
is
not
now.
be a big fan of his.
He might be.
But I
now.
like him.
I don't think he was before. Phil was not a liked guy.
No, in his early.
Yeah. But realistically, do I really want to watch Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tiger, and Phil play for, once again, donations that is possibly, I am not 100% sure if this, I'll need to check. I will let people know. If this is pay-per-view, I'm going to vomit. Because that last cross
heard it's-
garbage that I watched, Tiger and Phil, was pay-per-view. And the money went to whatever. Don't give a shit. No offense, you both have so much money. You don't need charity. You're your own charity. Put your own money in the pot, donate it.
Here's the thing about it. It goes back to last week. It's better than nothing. It's better than a tournament rerun. It's better than anything.
Is it though, Wilson?
It has-
Yes, it is.
So
Yes,
this
it is.
weekend okay. Next week's episode.
It's
You guys
not
I'm gonna bring
better
you guys gonna watch it? Are you guys gonna watch this weekend?
Here, let me finish. It's not better than me going out and golfing myself. So if I have 4 hours to watch that, I'm gonna go golfing instead. But if I was stuck in the house and wasn't able to go golfing, which some people aren't, it's better than nothing.
I can maybe agree with that, but good Lord, it is pushing boundaries for me. Well, guys, that's probably gonna do it for this week. We don't want to put people to sleep again for an hour and a half. I thought we did better. We will be back next week with another episode of the cheap seats. I almost called it the cheat sheets. Good Lord. Really pumped, guys. Pratt, awesome to have you along. It's good. We'll be looking forward to more pearls of wisdom, and we definitely will be having that cheap seats 4-way match, because that's definitely something I'll be looking forward to. Maybe we can put some money in and put it to charity, eh, Jeff?
Sure.
think we can donate that to COVID. So love it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll definitely see you next week. Take care.
Hey, boys.